Hello and welcome to our very first edition of Overcomers. Our family is so excited to be joining you this week as our first show. We're going to take this half an hour to introduce ourselves and let you know a little bit about our family and what we've been through to become overcomers in our lives. My name is Kelly Cnosby and I'll be your host of the week. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born with cerebral palsy, and I was able to walk on my own until after I had our two sons, Matthew and Blaine. And Matthew is the one on the end with the gorgeous red hair. He's 21. The one next to him is Blaine. He is 18. And until they were both born, I had no problems walking on my own 2 feet. After they were born, I had complications with my heart health, and so after heart surgery in 2000, I went to walking with a walker, and progressively, my walking just progressed slowly downhill until 2011 when I was diagnosed with spinal stenosis. It's a bad disease that there is no cure for, and basically what they can do is treatments and or surgeries that can help you maintain a comfortable life as best as can be expected. This is my wonderful husband, Tom. Tom and I have been married for 24 years next month in October, and we are very excited to come with you from Missouri, a suburb of Kansas City, Missouri, and I feel like I'm going blank, but we'll make do with this. So, my husband is a right arm and leg amputee from a farming accident, and we'll talk more about that in detail in our next segment. First of all, I want to share with you about Matthew and Blaine. Matthew and Blaine both have autism. Matthew has pervasive development disorder, and Blaine has Asperger's. They're both in the high functioning range and very well behaved young men. Matthew is 21 and he lives with us here at home, and he is really good at working on his independent living and social skills. Blaine has a volunteer job once a week. Blaine, would you like to share with the audience where do you work and what do you do at your job?
I'm actually supposed to talk?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know how to put it into words.
Where do you work?
Harvesters.
Okay. Harvesters, what is Harvesters?
Harvester is a place where they people pack up food and send it to the homeless.
Right. To help him out at Harvesters, we go there once a week for a 2-hour shift, and we pack different kinds of foods each week. One week we can be sorting out oranges, next week it's potatoes, and next week it could be boxed meals. We never know until we get there. Uh, Blaine, is it your goal to get a job with Harvesters someday?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. What do you like about doing Harvesters the most?
Well, I don't know.
Do you, bless your heart. Do you feel like it's a way to give back to the community?
Yeah.
Good, good. Matthew, I hear, well, I don't hear, I know for a fact that you are a movie buff, right? You like to go to movies?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah? And, Matthew has exceptional, that is the hazards of recording from your home, I'm afraid. That was the Schwann's guy trying to do a food delivery, and I told him, I says, let's do this tonight, shall we? Then back to a conversation, Matthew. We were talking about how you like to go see movies. And what are your favorite kind of movies, or do you have a favorite?
Well, actually, some is a kind of a secret, but unless my mom gives them a chance like everyone else.
What do you like?
I can't say. Some of them are I can only say what can I say? Like.
Well, okay, like recently, the other night, we watched the Night in the Museum movie 1.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, and pretty soon we're going to rent the second one. Now, the second one takes place where?
Actually, Night at the Museum 2 is the movie that came out in 2009. It's Battle of the Smithsonian, and we might, if we don't have that, we could rent it at Netflix.
Right. Now, this is how good of a memory he has, in that we will name off a title of a movie. I won't do this right now, but we can name off a title of a movie for a long time ago. He can tell you when it came out, and if there's a whole series, you can name each title and what year it came out. And then he can also name which movie earned an Emmy nomination or Oscar, and so on and so forth. So he's a very good memory. Is there anything else you two like to do? Do you like for hobbies?
I don't do much.
You like to do go swimming in the summertime?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, life in our home is never boring. Quite an adventure. Now we know you can't see our pet, Trouble. He is our Australian Shepherd, and he is a rescue from Wayside Ways. He is very docile, very good dog, and we have a wonderful time with him hanging out in our family. Tom has 2 brothers, and I have a twin brother named Sean, and many extended family on both sides of the families. Is there anything that you would like to add, Tom? Now, Tom, you went to school not too long ago at Central College of the Bible.
Central Christian College of the Bible.
Please tell them what you studied.
I studied Christian counseling. That's how I received my bachelor's degree in that field.
And you still need to achieve your master's degree before you can be what they call certified counselor.
Correct. Yes, that's right.
Okay. Is there any hobbies that you enjoy, Tom?
I enjoy watching baseball and sports in general,
Okay,
especially this time of year, baseballs.
right, right. You used to be a baseball card collector. Are you doing it very much anymore?
I've cut back on it quite a bit.
Right.
In the last 10 years or so.
Yeah. Now, at one point you were a baseball card dealer at one time, correct?
Yes.
Now, has baseball card collecting, in a sense, gone by the wayside?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that it's changed a lot over time.
Changed. Okay. Is there any shows that you like to watch yourself?
I like to watch a lot of the shows on the Discovery Channel. That's not right, is it?
Inspiration, you mean?
Or Inspiration Channel, or TLC. I
TLC.
suppose,
Yeah. We are, my husband and I, we have a date night on Friday night. We watch shows on CBS, which we are not allowed to say which ones, and on Tuesday nights is TLC, and so that's what we like to do. I have studied cooking, and I'm very good at it, and we enjoy many different things together as a family. Well, I see that we need to take a break for our commercials, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Would you spend a penny to reach a new prospect? Axe Media connects with 20-somethings and baby boomers. Today, you are either out of sight, out of mind, and soon to be out of business, or seen, heard, and connected. This is Jackie Scott. Let me show you how to reach new business. Call Axe Media today at 816-457-0955. That's 816-457-0955.
Do you think this might be a good option for us?
Kelly, that's a great question. And what I find with most families, after sitting down and taking about 30 minutes to discuss your family's wishes and wants, we go back and we put together a plan for your family. We look at all your wants, all your needs, and develop a plan for your children for their future. If any of you families out there would also like to have a no-cost consultation, feel free to give me a call at 913-553-6952.
Welcome back to our second segment of Overcomers. Right now we sent the boys away because we want to share with you more detail about Tom's story. Tom was a farmer on his father's farm back in 1987, when suddenly his life was changed. Tom, will you please tell us a little bit about that day, how it started, and what led up to the accident in 1987? And tell us about you. Now he is a right arm and leg amputee. Will you please share?
Okay. Yes. Best I can recollect, went to the farm as I normally would. It was in the morning, and don't remember a whole lot about the details going up to, but I went inside a grain bin, as my father instructed me to, and my understanding was to sweep and or shovel grain into the center of the auger, so the auger would, with a little assistance from me, take the rest of that grain out of the bin and send it out of the bin through a center pivot. And there was another gentleman in there with me at the time, and it was running. the kind of auger it did not have a guard on it, and it was like wasn't a very tall auger, but it was it was almost like made a circumference around the grain bin and made like a cross. Wasn't a very high blade. I hadn't, and looking back on it, I realized I hadn't been around a auger quite like that. I'd been used to ones I'd been exposed to were more the kind that had a guard that you could even grab and guide, and more of a portable one you could take in and out of a grain bin. This one you couldn't, but they didn't send any warning up to me or anything about that. I don't know how long I was even in there, but my recollection is that as I was near the center pivot of where these blades were moving, and they were not moving even enough to, they were on, but as far as you could see them moving with any kind of speed, they really weren't. I mean, this was just, it almost looked like they were not moving at all. Having looked back on it now, as I was close to the auger, one of the blades, or one of the 4 sections, if you can call it that, I believe my shoelace got wrapped up into it, and therefore it, just something of note, I lost some memory there, so I'm not quite sure what happened. So what I say, that's what I think happened. I don't know that for sure. That's all I can gather. And in the next instant, I was on the grain bin floor, and I knew then what had happened, though I don't know how. I don't know how. Obviously, a great force pulled me into it.
Right.
The force of it. I could feel it putting pressure on my leg. I didn't know then. I was kind of twisted, whereas my left side was on the floor, kind of twisted. My right side was actually on top. The gentleman who shut off the grain bin, right away, as I, obviously told him, this is, I could feel it grinding in my leg. I was on the floor. He shut it off. I think what surprised me, I knew something wrong with my leg, obviously. I think what surprised me was I looked to my right, laying there flat on the bin floor, that my arm was taken, and I could see it laying just beside me. I mean, it was just like a clean
cut.
More or less, yeah. Even though it was, yes. And my best recollection, or best idea of maybe what happened, is I may have instinctively reached down to grab my foot or leg or what have you, and then maybe it pulled that too. Again, this is just all I can figure what happened. Again, I lost that time there. And then the coworker went and got my family. They did get it off of me, and then an ambulance arrived shortly thereafter. Was taken from a local hospital in northern Missouri, where I lived near, and then there wasn't a whole lot they could do with trauma at that time. They knew that my arm had been severed. They took it with me, for what it was worth, in hopes I think they could reattach it. My leg was still attached. The injury was below my knee, because they couldn't, at the local hospital, find access to any kind of life flight helicopter. They drove me to in an ambulance to what's now known as Overland Park Regional Hospital.
Now let me stop you right there and help the audience understand the time lapse, because you're up in north central Missouri, which is, correct me, 2.5 hours away from Overland Park, Kansas.
Yeah.
Yes.
knowing they were, it may have, and again, at normal speed, they may have been going faster. I assume they sure tried to. I don't know.
Well,
With
yeah,
traffic
I-
and everything, it might have made it kind of, but yeah.
I reckon all the lights were going and everything on that trip.
Right.
And,
No, yeah.
so basically, just to deal with the ordeal, the trauma, being put into an ambulance, not once, but twice, because you're put in the ambulance at the farm, taken out to first hospital, put back in the ambulance the second time, and then rushed to 2.5 hours away. That's right there, just survive. That was a miracle in itself, is it not?
Yes, 'cause
Okay.
there's so many,
Okay.
either blood or shock loss, or
No.
I mean, blood loss or shock, but yes.
I'm sorry. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you said they brought the arm along. Did they try to surgically reattach the arm?
I don't think they had even attempted it, no, because they were trying, most of all to save my life, and I think they would have thought that would just complicate it because of the nature of where the accident happened, and a lot of grain dust, and along with that, the open wound comes a lot of infection. So I,
So I would reckon that with this life-changing accident came a lot of changes mentally, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, correct?
yes.
How do you feel that you've grown? I mean, I know obviously there are changes. Do you feel that God has taught you a lot from this? And what?
Yes, yeah, and I think it started when it happened, when the accident happened, because I was kind of at a crossroads, so to speak, because I wondered, my thought was at the time, laying on that grain bin floor, I thought to myself, well, if God allowed this to happen, and I need help from Him, and how can I pray to the God who allowed it to happen at the same time? Maybe that was I think a turning point there. And it really made me ask some difficult questions, I think, about how life works. I think, and I think my mindset of God wasn't there right then. That I think over time, I realized that's not the case. I don't think He was doing that to me, the accident to me. I don't think that was Him. I don't know what it was, but
You just feel that God had a deeper meaning for you in life, correct?
right,
And what are you doing to make a difference in your community now?
Well, I'm recently this year joined a church, and I don't know if I can say the name of it, but if that's
No, it's okay.
that's enough.
Yeah.
And it's
You're
something.
doing-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
In volunteer work, and part of a group that gets together weekly to share our spiritual journey. So it's really been fulfilling.
Right. Well, Tom, you, for the past 24 years, have been an inspiration to me. Not just as my best friend and my husband, but, as an individual, you've been an inspiration to me. You have taught me and shown me that, life isn't always rosy, and that you need to keep going, eventually it goes. I appreciate you coming and sharing with us your story today. And I just really appreciate your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This has been our first episode of Overcomers. We look forward to seeing you again this week. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Would you spend a penny to reach a new prospect? Axe Media connects with 20-somethings and baby boomers. Today, you are either out of sight, out of mind, and soon to be out of business, or seen, heard, and connected. This is Jackie Scott. Let me show you how to reach new business. Call Axe Media today at 816-457-0955. That's 816-457-0955.
Do you think this might be a good option for us?
Kelly, that's a great question. And what I find with most families, after sitting down and taking about 30 minutes to discuss your family's wishes and wants, we go back and we put together a plan for your family. We look at all your wants, all your needs, and develop a plan for your children, for their future. If any of you families out there would also like to have a no-cost consultation, feel free to give me a call at 913-553-6952.